Hi guys, good afternoon. So today we're going to do a wall practice. I done a really gentle wall practice a couple of days ago. This is stronger. This is a really nice way to practice. In classes, we usually don't have enough wall space to use the wall as a prop, and it's a fantastic prop. So we're going to do this whole practice using the wall to help us to find our alignment, and sometimes it surprises us a little bit when we're really focused on our alignment and using the wall to help us do that. So we're going to start on our backs with a light hip opener and a twist, and then we're going to move into some stronger work. The only prop I'm going to use today is one block, and you're going to start supine. Now I've put my mat in a corner. If you don't have a corner, it's okay, you can just move your mat, but you'll kind of need this much wall space for the standing postures. So you want to come in with the short edge of your mat to the wall. We're going to come onto our backs, and we want to be so that we have roughly a right angle at the hip and a right angle at the knee. So I need to come in just a small amount more, and somewhere around about here with your feet on the wall. You take 1 or 2 breaths. You just drop down into your back body. So long inhale here, and a long exhale. And then we'll bring our left ankle onto our right thigh. So this is a variation of reclined pigeon pose. We'll have dorsiflexion in this left foot. We'll keep the pelvis square. We'll bring the right hand to the front of the right thigh and the left hand to the inner left thigh. And we're just lightly pressing away through both thighs. So we feel this very subtle lengthening through both sides of the waist, as if we're just gently moving the pelvis away from the ribs, opening the left hip, and taking a breath or two here. Really focus on keeping your sit bones the same distance away from the wall in front of you and that short edge of your mat. So you're not skewing your pelvis at all. You're keeping a really nice alignment. You're keeping your lower back nice and long. Take one more breath. Good. And then your left foot comes back to the wall. I'm going to take a spinal twist. We're lifting the pelvis up and moving over to the left, and then bringing the knees over to the right. Now, we want to have both feet on the wall. And you can feel free here to take your left arm all the way up. And the soles of both feet, I'm not sure if my feet are in shot here, so the soles of both feet are pressing into that wall, and you have still a right angle at the hip and a right angle at the knee. And you take 1 or 2 long breaths here. So you just feel that you open up here through your belly space and across your chest, your heart space. You're opening your left shoulder. 1 more breath. And then when you're ready, you're coming back to the center, so the feet come back onto the wall. You'll need to move your pelvis back into the center of your mat, so use your elbows to help you with that adjustment. Make sure you don't bring any stress into your neck as you're adjusting by pressing the head into the floor to lift your back. So keep the neck nice and easy. Check your alignment again. And then this time you're bringing your right ankle onto your left thigh, and you know that you can adjust this, make it easier if you need to by moving a bit further away from the wall, or you can make it a little bit stronger by taking yourself a bit closer to the wall. And remember, it's just a light preparation posture at the very beginning here, so you don't need to be doing anything too challenging at this point. So lightly pressing away, keeping both sides of the waist long. And just 1 or 2 breaths. Focus on breathing down towards your belly, towards your pelvic space. And your sit bones are equidistant from the front edge of your mat or the wall in front of you. Good. So when you're ready, releasing from there, both feet come back to the wall. You pick up your whole pelvis, move all the way over to the right with your pelvis, and then bring your knees over to the left. And again, the soles of your feet are up against the wall there. You have more or less right angle at the hip and another at the knee. Then you can open up through your right arm here. So make sure this is in a good place. This right arm, it might need to be lower for you, or even dropping down to your side. Try and release the shoulder down. Open through the belly and the chest. Really nice long breath again. Good. When you're ready, you can bring yourself back up to the center. Square yourself up again. And maybe hug the knees in towards you just to equalize the two sides. Good. We'll bring ourselves over and up, and we're coming into Malasana. We're going to use the wall just behind the sacrum here to give us a little bit of support. Now this is really useful if you feel in Malasana that if you fully release your heels down, you're going to lose your balance and tip over backwards. This is really a nice way of building the posture. You can still use some support underneath your heels if you need to. So you can use blocks or a folded towel or a blanket underneath your heels if your heels don't quite drop all the way down. Your hands come in front of your heart. You take a few breaths here, Malasana. So feeling here that you can really release into your hips, you can really release your lower back across your sacrum, the back of your pelvis. You don't have that slight tensing or tightening because you feel fearful that you might lose your balance. So long inhale here. And long exhale. You might take a moment while you're here to set your intention for your practice today, for your attention to be steady and focused. Good. When you're ready, bringing yourself into Uttanasana. So you're lifting your hips, adjusting the feet to parallel, and allowing yourself to release into your fold. Now, make sure you'll need to be a little distant from the wall, but close enough to the wall that you can just drop your sit bones back towards the wall. So again, you just feel a little bit of support from the wall, so that you can really release the head and the neck and drop into your forward fold. Should you need a modification here, if your back feels vulnerable today, or if you feel that there is stress in your back, you can lean on your thighs, give yourself a little bit more support. You might need to edge forward a little bit for this to be comfortable if you're bending your knees. So find a good place, give your shoulders a shrug, loosen your neck, take a long inhale, and a sighing exhale. Good. When you're ready, you bring yourself up slowly. So again, just bending the knees, re-stacking your spine, bringing yourself all the way up. And our next posture will be Utkatasana. Now, feet about hip distance apart. And again, you'll need to play the distance a little bit until you find that it's just right for you. You're bending your knees, and we're going to put the back to the wall. Now, I'd like to just see the very tip of the toes in front of the knees. So make adjustments as you need to. Put your sacrum to the wall and then put your shoulder blades to the wall. Make sure you're not arching your lower back by drawing your tail down and your abdomen in, as if you're lifting the front of your pelvis and lengthening your tail down, so you have a really nice neutral alignment in your spine. You can sink a little bit lower if you like. And you can take this here, so some really strong legs here, or you can open your chest and bring your arms into like a cactus variation. So you're opening your shoulders here. And again, try and keep that lower back nice and spacious. Feel that you're lifting through your lower belly. One more breath. Good. Releasing from here. Bringing yourself to stand. And we're taking the feet wider now and coming into a warrior pose. Now, you're going to need your block for this next series of postures. We're going to come right to the very back edge of the mat, close to the wall. Now, notice that I've got a block's width between my mat and the wall, so I'm not right up against the wall. And we're finding just a foot pattern here for warrior two. So fidget around until it feels right. Drop down into your sit bones. Try and bring your spine vertical. Now, most of us will turn slightly in our warrior two without even realizing that we're doing it. Try and bring yourself so you're facing that long edge of your mat. Lift the inner ankle of your right leg and the inner arch.
drop down into both sit bones, and feel that you're opening the whole front of your pelvis, pressing the back of your pelvis to the wall, and try and bring as much as you can both shoulder blades to the wall. You can extend out through your arms. Now, we don't want to lay on the wall here. Just feel that you're lightly touching. It will give you an indication of your alignment. You turn your gaze out over the front hand and you take a breath or two here. Good. Okay, from here, coming into a version of Parsvakonasana. So the feet can stay as they are, and you're bringing yourself over the front leg. Now, this posture is a side opener, and what tends to happen with Parsvakonasana is the top shoulder and the top hip fall forward. So then, rather than being in a pure lateral stretch, we're in a posture that's part forward fold. So we really check in with this here. We bring the top hip back and we bring that top shoulder back. For a lot of us, this will feel very different to the way that we're doing the posture, because we tend to focus on getting that hand nice and low, and it compromises all of this alignment. So you can be forearm to thigh, try and bring the shin perpendicular to the floor. You can be forearm to thigh, and then check the alignment. So the tail draws down, the lower back lengthens, the navel space and the heart space open, and you take this arm up. Try and touch the wall, just feel where it is with that top shoulder, with that top arm. But again, don't lay on the wall, just use it to guide you. And then if you'd like to go further, you can bring your hand to your block. Remember, your block has 3 settings. So only go as low with the hand as you can, maintaining that alignment. You can look up or you can keep your neck neutral. Notice today I'm bringing my block outside my foot. I usually bring inside my foot, but for today, outside your foot. And take a breath or two here. When it feels like enough, use your feet and your legs to bring you all the way back up. Okay, we're doing a similar thing with Trikonasana. You might feel that you want to adjust the feet a little bit, sometimes a tiny bit shorter for Trikonasana feels right. And we're bringing ourselves again back to the wall. So try and find your alignment here. Try not to let this front knee roll in or overextend. Your arms extend, and then you come into your Trikonasana. And again, just like Parsvakonasana, we tend to let the top half of the chest, so this half, fall forward as we come into triangle pose. Try and keep that nice and open. And again, you might be able to use your block here to help you with your posture. So again, you're not leaning on the wall, you're just touching into that wall. You can look up, or you can keep your neck nice and easy. If you feel that you want to go a little bit lower, you can, but try not to compromise your alignment. Keep both sides of the waist nice and long. Good. When you're ready, you release your neck, bend that front knee a little bit, bring yourself all the way up. So one more posture on this side before we do the other side. We're looking at Ardha Chandrasana. So this is a lovely way to practice half moon posture. You'll want your block a little further forward than your foot. You bring the weight into your left foot, your hand onto your block, and then try and shift the weight forward and onto your left foot. Stand down into your hand and into your foot, mindful not to overextend your left leg, and then try and open up. Now, this is where most of us take Ardha Chandrasana, okay? So today, feel that you really open through your left inner leg line. It's your left hip opening as your pelvis turns to face the right. Often this leg, this top leg in Ardha Chandrasana, swings back and we come into a kind of wobbly back bend. So here you have the wall to check you. You send the foot away and really enliven this leg. And then again, try and find your back to the wall also. Send energy out through this leg. Keep this leg nice and strong. Don't just hang in your joint. You might want to keep your neck neutral. You might want to look up. One or two breaths. Feel that your navel space, your heart space are wide open. So you radiate outwards in all directions. Out into the right foot, forward into the crown of your head. Standing down into your left foot and reaching up through your right arm. When you're ready to come out of here, try and come out nice and slowly, smoothly, and back to standing. Good. Okay, so same sequence on the other side. Finding your warrior two first. So as much adjustment as you like. The back hip, left hip in this case, drops underneath your left armpit. You open the front of your pelvis. Lift the inner left ankle and arches of the foot. Both shoulder blades just touch to that wall, the arms extend. Try and keep this hip open. Long breath. You can drop a little bit more into both of your sit bones. Good. And then taking this into your Parsvakonasana. So forearm to thigh is the first variation. Try and keep the top hip moving back. Open your belly space. Just feel where the wall is in both shoulder blades. You take the arm up. Remember, you're not leaning on the wall, it's just there for guidance. You can bring your hand onto your block if you like. And see if you can find space in your chest and in your belly. Nice easy neck. If you feel stress in your neck, you can look forward or even release the gaze down. One more breath. Good. When you're ready, coming up. And again, adjust the foot pattern, the stance for Trikonasana to where it feels right for you. Both legs are straight, but you're not locking or overextending your front knee. Your arms extend. You lengthen both sides of your waist and then bring yourself into triangle pose. You want the block here maybe a little bit further in. Bring your fingertips or your hand to your block. If that's too far away, you can bring your hand to your leg. Be careful that you don't push your leg into an overextension. So drawing up your kneecap and thigh, and then trying to really open through this inner right leg line. Just touching this top shoulder blade to the wall so you know where it is. And then coming slightly away from the wall so you're not leaning on the wall. You feel the opening in your side body. Nice long breath. So Trikonasana. it feels like enough. Bending the front knee and bringing yourself to the good. So last posture on this side is your Ardha Chandrasana. So you're bending the front knee, the hand comes onto the block. You're shifting the weight into your front foot, up. Just push that a little bit further. Good. And again, it's through the inner right leg line, the standing leg, that the opening is. Through this inner thigh, you open the hip, you turn the pelvis, you reach back through that right leg, try and bring that leg as much as you can, horizontal, so parallel to the floor. And then we usually realize that we're bringing the chest slightly forward, so we try and find the wall again. We open up. You just stabilize here. Feel the space in the belly, the way the posture opens from the center, all directions. Breath or two. Really power out through the back leg here, the lifted leg. When you're ready, try and come out of the posture smoothly with grace. Good. Okay. So our next posture is a seated posture. You're going to need your block here in a moment to help you set the space for the following posture. So bring your block with you. You're coming into Dandasana. So your sacrum is against the wall. And this is often a bit of an eye-opener for a lot of us, especially those of us that are flexible, because we tend to take Dandasana leaning a little bit far forward, and we should be with vertical spine in Dandasana. So hands come alongside your hips, backs of the legs drop down, feet are wide open, chin is in, but the back of your head is just touching the wall, shoulder blades, draw down and back. You take a breath or two here. Again, try and bring your lower ribs in. For one more breath. Good. Our next posture is a handstand prep. So if you feel that this is too much, you could do some downward dog practice in place of this. You need to work out your distance by placing a block more or less where your feet are, and this for your handstand prep is where your hands will be. So placing your block here, the end of your feet, your legs, and then bringing yourself over the other way. Now, it's always really difficult to tell where we are when we're upside down. So it's useful for this if you have somebody that can maybe help you a little bit, can guide you a little bit, or even take a picture for you so you can see where you are in space. For me, it feels right for the heels of my hands to be aligned with the front edge of my block here. So this is where my hands are going to be for my handstand prep, okay? And then we bring ourselves into something that will feel rather like a short downward facing dog. Now, If you don't want to do this part, again, you can correct your downward dog, take it out a little bit longer and do some downward dog practice here instead. If you want to have a go at this, you're bringing your foot to the wall and you need to press into the wall quite strongly here and bring the weight into your hands. So it takes a little bit of confidence to do this part, okay? And then your feet walk up the wall until your legs are parallel with the floor. Now most of us will go too high here, so this is where your friend can maybe help you a little bit. And we find ourselves here, and then a lot of us will just need to draw the lower ribs in and lengthen the lower back. Try not to hang in your shoulders. Keep the arms nice and strong. Take a few breaths here. Good. When it's enough, you slowly bring yourself all the way down, and you might want to take a rest here in child's pose. So just allowing your arms and your shoulders to relax. It's a really challenging posture, so be patient, keep practicing if it doesn't feel easy today. Take another breath or two. When you're ready, we're coming into a spinal extension, a back bend. Again, we're going to use the wall to help us to do preparation for a bow pose, for Dhanurasana. You're coming onto your belly, and as you come onto your belly, you need to have your knees as close to the wall as you can bring them. So bring yourself in here carefully. You can always wiggle back, see if you can find the wall with your kneecaps. Now, rather than plantar flexing my feet, I like to tuck my toes. That always feels really good for me, but you can go the other way if you prefer. You want your elbows just in front of your shoulders. You root into your forearms, draw your tail down so you're pressing the front of your pelvis into the floor, your kneecaps, your toe roots into the wall. You're using your forearms to help you draw your breastbone forward. Nice long breath here. One more breath. Good. Okay, from here, release all the way down. Take a breath into your back. You can maybe just wave the legs a little bit here, side to side. Just rock any stress or tension out of your back. And then from here, we turn ourselves over and we take our legs up the wall. So you're coming back to a supine position. And the easiest way to get nice and close here is to come in sideways and then take the legs up the wall. Okay, we might need to wiggle in a bit closer. Good. So legs up the wall. You might like here just to place your feet on the wall and release any pressure or tension from your lower back. And then when you're ready, just coming back to this posture. Now this is fine, and if you feel that you already have worked hard enough, you can stay here. Take this as your last posture. We can work towards shoulder stand here, and I really love this work. Even if you can come into shoulder stand without using a wall, this is it's a really, really nice variation. So we start with the soles of the feet on the wall, okay? And then we practice pressing. So again, it's a little bit like our handstand prep. You're pressing into the wall using your feet to help you start to lift your pelvis away from the floor. Now, the really nice thing about this is you can do it so slowly that you're really aware as to whether you're bringing too much pressure or stress into your back as you come up. So it's very, very slow coming up. Okay. Now, if you can bring yourself up far enough to bring your hands just to your pelvis or your hip crests, you might then be able to start to think about taking one leg or one foot away from the wall. Or maybe for a moment or two, you can take both away. So a modification for this, if this doesn't feel good, is just simply stay with your back and your sacrum on the floor and your legs resting up the wall. And stay for a few breaths. And then we want to come out of the posture slowly as well. So the feet come back to the wall. You release your hands down. Now this part is really lovely. You can let the spine flex by coming down slowly through your upper back first. And then into your middle back. Around about here for me it feels just wonderful. Opening into the back of my waist and slowly all the way down. Good. So think about how you feel here. You might like to roll out of this and bring yourself into a classic relaxation posture, Shavasana or semi-supine. If you feel that this is very comfortable, you might like to take a few moments relaxation just here with your feet up in the air. Or if you'd like a little opening for your hips, you could bring yourself into an easy, it's like a squat variation, a squat preparation right here. Or maybe even a Supta Baddha Konasana variation right here. So choose what feels good for you for the final few moments of your practice. Let your eyes close. And try and breathe out through your back. Try and let your shoulders relax. You can allow yourself to drift here for longer if you'd like to. If you feel that you're ready, you can take your arms up and stretch out your arms. You might reach up through your legs, maybe stretch your feet, your toes. Bringing yourself slowly over and onto one side. And eventually coming up to sit from there. Bring yourself for a moment into Sukhasana. And now, seeing as we're working with the wall today, you can bring your sacrum, your back, to the wall in Sukhasana. And just feeling how lovely it is to have in your practice not only the support of the ground, but the support of a wall also. When you're ready, your hands come in front of your heart. And you take a bow forward. Namaste. Thank you.